Who is Frank Cerrone?
First and foremost, I'm a disciple of God. I wake up every morning thanking God for what I have. I go to bed every night thanking God for all the blessings that I have. One of the three major blessings I have is I've been married for 22 years to my beautiful wife, Antoinette. Second blessing is I've got three beautiful and amazing boys. You're one of them. And then I have Gino, I've got Marco and Luca. And then third is I'm the president and CEO of Pan American Bank and Trust.
What's the story behind Pan American Bank and Trust?
We started in 2007, our group, and we had our vision and mission was to provide a service to entrepreneurs like no other bank can. When we started, we were 30 million in assets, so we were extremely small, but it was during an economic crisis. Many people were like, why would you be opening up a bank during that time? Well, we looked at it as an advantage. We're the premier bank for entrepreneurs. Today, we are extremely proud of the kind of bank we grew. From 2007, we were 30 million in assets, and today we're 500 plus million in assets. We've done it the right way. You know, we have a lot of relationships that I'm quite proud of that has just helped us build organically. We're not a transactional bank. We have many clients of ours that are big supporters and refer us a lot of business, and we network. We network quite well, and we have a wonderful staff, not just who you see on a daily basis, our frontline lenders or personal bankers, but really the magic happens in the back. And our operational team is by far the best. So, you know, from 17, 18 years ago and today, we've built something quite amazing.
As far as I remember, you've always been at Pan American Bank and Trust. Growing up, I watched you build this bank. What made you want to sit with me today?
I remember taking you to the bank when you were 2 years old, but you were always asking questions, and you always wanted to know more than I was 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old. And I've sat down with you at home, and we talk about business, and we talk about, your dreams and what you want to do. And I talk to a lot of your friends. And, when I sit back and I'm like, what would be a cool concept would be doing this, not just for you or your friends or my other boys, my other kids, but for other entrepreneurs, smaller, but even mid-sized entrepreneurs that are like, hey, maybe I can give them value, something that they can get out of this that can help them grow their business.
Why do you think passing down those lessons, values to the next generation is so important?
Well, I think it's really important because today you guys have a lot of access to information, right?
Yeah.
Things that I never had. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I also think there's something missing there. And what I think more and more is missing is that connection, that human touch. I don't think technology's bad, but I think it's overused a lot. And when you're an entrepreneur or you're building a business or building a career, that human touch and being able to talk to someone freely, and you're not going to get that on the computer. You just won't get that on the computer, but you definitely will get that by just getting mentors, having individuals in your life that can help you through things. So it's more about resources.
Yeah.
And finding the right resource.
I'm 20. What were you doing at my age?
I was working at a community bank. I started at that community bank when I was 15 years old. I got a job basically being a stock clerk, a mail clerk. I was the gopher for a lot of the vice presidents and officers of the bank. But I was also going to college full time. So I was going to school full time, and I was going to work full time. And I was trying to really figure out where I wanted to be in life. I didn't have all the answers, but I just knew I loved business. I loved seeing businesses grow, and I understood relationships, and I understood how to really communicate, how important that was. And I learned a lot of that from my family. Sunday night dinners with my grandparents, my grandfather, my uncles, my dad. Wisdom is everything. And I gained a lot of wisdom and I respected it. And today I encourage you guys to do the same. After dinners, let's sit around, let's talk about real subjects. And what I loved about growing up, my parents came from, they were born in Italy. They never complained. They never looked at, let's feel bad for myself. Or they showed up every day. And that morale and that positive mindset was what I think is how I grew. And I think a lot of my family, my cousins, are the same way.
Did you always want to be in banking?
I always wanted to be in business. But I when I was really young, I wanted to be an architect. I loved buildings. I loved the whole concept of it. So I studied that a little bit when I was really young. I also studied trading, option trading. But the more and more I was in banking and through college, it just dawned on me. I'm like, this is my calling. I think about it today, and I think a lot of it, why am I here? And a lot of it is because I truly like to give back. And I love the fact that when I was 10 years old and your grandparents were looking to buy their first home, they were sitting with a banker. And I was like a little kid sitting in an office and they received their American dream. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I love what I do, is because I love seeing individuals that have a dream and I can help them accomplish that. These business owners that bank with us, I thank them because, they thank me, but man, do I thank them for helping me accomplish my dream, the dream of growing a really solid institution. Our foundation is outstanding. And, each and every day I'm thankful for that.
You said you've been in banking for 30 years?
30 plus.
And what risks did you take when you were younger in banking?
What risks? I think the biggest risk that I took in life was I was working at another bank, international bank, and I was an executive vice president for that bank, and I was also a president for another bank. So I had a really great opportunity. I was young. I was 26, 27 years old, making pretty good money. And I had an opportunity to join Pan American Bank and also be a shareholder at Pan American Bank. And having a young family, Marco was just born, you were 2 years old. I took that leap, but it wasn't just me. It was Aunt and Mom that really supported me, and my parents that really supported me at the time to take the jump. It's basically I had to reduce my salary in half for this opportunity, and I'm very grateful that I did that.
How did you change as a person during that? I mean, you said you had to put your family through it, but what did you feel through that?
I think a lot of it has to do with your mindset. I knew I could lead, and that was something that I was confident with, but I didn't have a big ego. I was humble, right? And one of the things that I think I tell you all the time, being humble is something that attracts people, but be genuine at it, right? And when I had this opportunity of being the president of Pan American Bank, it was something that I was so grateful for, and I didn't want to mess it up. It was a small bank. I think we had 6-7 employees. I think we had 10 million in loans. Wore a lot of hats, but I had fun doing it, and I had really, really great people, mentors that helped me just keep going and achieving my dream.
What values do you hope to pass down to the younger generations like us?
Yeah, values. Number one is integrity. Your handshake, your signature is everything. Being humble, is something that, your friends, you're smart individuals. Don't take that for granted. There's a lot of smart people in this world. Gain wisdom. Another character is how to communicate, but listen. That's how you gain wisdom. I gain wisdom every day, by listening to very intelligent people, but they've experienced it. I don't give advice to someone unless I live it. And having a support group around you. Surround yourselves with people that are going to support you, challenge you, but more importantly than anything, trust them. Trust is a big thing for me. Trust and find the right people. Show me your friends. I'll show you your future. We've talked about that a lot. It's real. It's real, and I encourage whoever you have around your circle to make sure that they are genuinely supporting you. Cool. And they don't judge you. I think judgment is really something that I see a lot. People, they could, just like what we're doing today, right? You got people that may judge us for doing this. They're not really on your side, right? They're not on your side. And those are the people that you want to avoid.
What timeless principles have never failed you in business?
Relationships, true relationships, and the right relationships. I know you're growing right now in your career, and I'm very proud of what you're doing, and I love that you're passionate about it. But you're going to meet a lot of people in your life, and you want to make sure that those relationships you build are the right relationships. And also, I think failing, right? You have to be able to accept failing. I look at failing as like a tuition for success.
How important would you say failing is?
I think it's extremely important. I don't know anyone that is successful that has not failed in something. If you're sitting in my seat right now and said, "There's no way I haven't failed," and you're lying. You're lying. And it's hard to find people that will admit it. It's hard to find individuals that are willing to speak about it.
How do you see banking and business changing for my generation?
Well, it's the technology. Technology is faster paced, which is great. I mean, we have those tools at Pan American Bank. We've invested a lot into our technology, but you cannot substitute that with the human touch. I think that's what gives us our edge. Yeah. When a lender or a personal banker calls me up and says, "Frank, I really want you to meet someone that's starting a company or has a company," I drop everything. I mean, they know that's a priority for me because I love to sit down with individuals, but I challenge them. Maybe we can work on something, but it's the communication and call people back.
Yeah. Right?
It's just, if someone's calling you and you just are not getting that call back, that's a problem. We call people back. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. If someone's not getting a call back, or I get a call saying, "Hey, I've been trying to get a hold of so-and-so," and they're not calling you back, you could talk to my team. That's not something that goes well with me. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot about.
Yeah. I mean, through the couple years that I worked at Pan American Bank, and especially seeing you, your guys are very relationship driven. Has technology boosted that for you guys in terms of being able to gain relationships?
We use the tools to enhance the relationships we have. But I'm old school. And I think the technology part can be there and we can use it. But if we're financing a project, the operator is very important to us. And you really can't do that from a computer. I could research individuals prior to me meeting them, and I think that's key. I think we do a really good job with that. I also have a lot of individuals in my life that, we depend on and talk to about, "Hey, do you know this person? Do you know that person?" Chicago's a small place. I mean, you think about it, a lot of people know each other, and the banking world is quite small.
What should young entrepreneurs know about money that most don't?
Cash flow is king. cash flow is king. I think a lot of small entrepreneurs talk about how much revenue they've made. That's great, but what do you show at the bottom line, right? What's your bottom line look like? When you go to a bank, you can make $5 million a year and you show nothing. So you're doing something wrong, and we can help you with that. But I think cash flow is king. I think also when you talk about money is, protect it, track your money, but also invest it wisely. Don't just throw money away, cherish it. It's your capital.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. It's been a pleasure, and I love you, Dad.
I know you love me, but I can't tell you how proud I am of you. And I know it's funny, every time I ask you to do something uncomfortable, you do it. And I don't even think you hesitated. Like, yes, I'm in. And so for a father, I can't tell you how proud I am of you. So I love you and thank you.